Why do organizations end up with this type of a structure? Is it deliberate and that they're doing it by design and that they think that it's best for these programs to exist in different parts of the business, or is it happening more organically where we don't even know where they're supposed to sit, and for whatever reason, one ends up in one part of the business and one ends up in the other?
Yeah, I certainly think it's the latter. And it's more of a case of you don't know what you don't know, right? So whether it's the optimization team or the analytics team, they don't they may not be aware of like the power that bringing these two groups together actually has, and not only that, but the potential impact that it could have. So I gave up. I talked about real quickly like a results part of it, but there's also this whole thing called test ideation, and you need a strong test ideation piece of the process to have a best in class optimization program. You need these test ideas coming in um, at a at a you need high quality test ideas coming in at a consistent rate, and so they may not even be aware of what's the downside to separating analytics and optimization from our test ideation standpoint too. So there's kind of dangers on both sides of the process here.
So yeah, I think that's a really good point. So let's talk about that a little bit because I think it's a very real challenge that organizations face and don't have the guidance on how to address it. Because let's kind of drill into that point you made of we don't know what we don't know until we get into it, and then it's too late, right? Like we've made the decision, we've hired people, we've created this structure, and we're like, oh, it would have been so much better had we put these together. But now we have all this political overhead, and how do we now change? And so we don't. And even though we
Hmm.
know it's not the right approach, we stick with it because we don't want to have to rock the boat. What advice do you have for organizations on how to deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, the first piece of advice I would have is um, and this is going to sound not trite, but like figure out a way to get it done. Like have a sit down. Have a sit down with if you're the director of the optimization team, have a sit down with your analytics partner. I mean, everybody's busy, right? And everyone has time constraints, and but have a sit down, and there's a lot of value that an analytics team can bring to the table. So from a positioning standpoint of, hey, let's chat about this and figure out, does it make sense for our teams to work a little closer together. I think if you do it the right way and position it the right way, your peer in analytics will be like, oh, like wow, I didn't know we could add value over here to the organization. We're over here, burning and churning reports out. We can barely keep our heads, above water. Um, but then they're like, oh wow, like I don't even know if these daily reports that we're turning out are adding value. But now I see what we can do over here, and it's almost like that's like the we didn't know we didn't know. Like maybe they think, maybe the analytics teams think they're going to do the exact same thing they're doing now, which is just churn reports out on the back of A/B tests. But it's much more than that.
Yeah.